I am live. It actually will let me go live this time. And just in time for the sun to come out and make. Come on. There we go. It looks like I'm going to be having some issues now. Oh, goodness. Wait around here to see if I'm going to have anybody come in, but probably best that they don't. Unless my internet junk starts working right. Oh, hello to one person. You are the first, whomever you may be. Hopefully, it's coming through here relatively clearly, but it does look like I'm getting some lag on my end anyway. And of course, as soon as I started this whole live stream, the sun comes out. So now I look like I have a radioactive beard. But we'll see what's going on here. Well, thank you. Got some shade here. There we go. That's much better. Thank you, Lord. Much appreciated. So I reckon I'm three some odd minutes in it. So beings is most generally people watch this after the fact, knowing, or very rarely are people on when I'm actually live. I reckon I'll start talking. Here recently, I was at a celebration party for someone whose relationship to me and all of that shall remain unsaid. But she has been clean and sober for a number of years now, and this was a celebration for her getting off of an assortment, we'll say that, of illegal substances. And it was very nice. I learned a few things from that get together, or I took a few things away from it. And one, what she did at the end of it all, we took a fire pit and she took all of the pictures that she had left from when she was an addict. And we took all of them, and she one at a time held it up, took a lighter, lit it, put it in the fire pit, held it up, put it in the fire pit, one after the other. And finally, she had the picture case and the paper that they come from like the photo developers. And she took that and finally put that in. And it was a way of putting that old life behind her. Hello to a second individual who's watching. I appreciate you stopping by to join. And a third individual, hello. We're talking about redemption here. And this individual, like I said, it will remain, I said in the beginning, it will remain nameless, or she will remain nameless, and relationship will also be nameless. But she was an addict, and she took, and she's been clean for a number of years, and she took, and one by one, she burned all the photos that she had back when she was an addict, pictures that showed her actually on drugs. And thank you, Lord. Getting a little reprieve from the sun. And she puts that when by burning that, it's just a symbol, and it does mean a lot, I think. And she took that and put that. It's gone out of her memory. It's gone. That old person is dead. That old person is dead. It's no longer. She's no longer that person anymore. And in a lot of ways, it's what the Almighty is with us. When we turn from our ways, our wicked ways, and we put our faith in Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, I don't care whatever term. You know what? Whether you're saying that or Hebrew, or I don't care. He knows who he is. He knows who you mean. But you put your faith in him, and the Almighty takes that sin she did. He looks at it, gets his old Bic lighter, puts it in the fire pit. It's gone. It's gone. He's not going to remember it anymore. It's gone. And that's something I've been, I've been wondering what in the world, how am I going to, because I wanted to talk about that. And I was wondering how I was supposed to put that out, and what I was wanting to draw from it, or what he was wanting me to put out from that. And so that's kind of what I took away from it. Good old well water. No chemicals in that stuff right there. But so that's what I took away from it. And you know what? She was in a dark hole. She and I'm very proud of her, and I really I don't have her permission to talk about this, so I'm not listing any. Um, I'm not saying any specific information about who she is in relation to me or anything else. So, needless to be, I know her, and no, it's not my wife. Um, but she, she was in that dark pit, and she come out of it, and I'm very proud of her for that. Um, I'm very happy for her, and she's really turned her life around. And one of her friends was there, and this is something else that I've taken away from it, and it's a little bit less on the religious side. If any of you who made it through that, and that's not your cup of tea, you know what? I promise to be what I am, and I'm not going to promise anybody anything else. You know what? This, you know, I put a lot of stock in what's in these words here, and there's something here else that I trust and put a lot of stock in the Second Amendment, and I have certain um, tools of the trade, tools of freedoming, but YouTube doesn't apparently like freedoming, so I won't show you those. Um, but thank you for the like, whomever hit the like. Um, and anyone who does deem any value, if you would, pin a comment, something, let me know that you do deem some value. It's not really about the algorithm or anything like that. I don't make any money off of YouTube, but just to let me know that what I'm saying is getting out to somebody. Sorry. I just received a text message from a buddy of mine. I had sent him a picture of the back of my truck that has lots of stickers. Um, Stickers that people say, oh no, you really shouldn't be putting those things on your vehicle. It makes you a target, but I do it anyway. It's my life. It's rural West Virginia. I'm not too worried about BLM coming to my house. Um, and the minute they step on my porch, if I feel threatened, they will leave. I promise you that. Anyway, I'm not too worried about that. Not in rural West Virginia. There's a lot of houses out here that they'd have to come to get to me. So anyway, what else I drew from that experience at that celebration? Well, one of the friends of this woman, one of her friends has kids, and she's been a real big support for her, and really helped her through a lot of this. But like I said, she has some kids, and those kids have spent most of their life on an army base. So you can tell that these kids have spent most of their life on a military base. I don't mean it in a mean way. It just is what it is. Having been on military bases, you can tell a military base kid, a military brat, whatever you want to call them. You can just tell, for the most part. They got to experience some things at that get together. They got to feed chickens and horses and the whole 9 yards, and they never got a chance to see that. Um, And that's pretty cool. But you could tell that they'd never been around that kind of stuff, farm stuff. And it made me realize that I take for granted. It's one of the things that happens to me. Like I take for granted that I grew up in this life, and I grew up knowing where my food came from. I knew where eggs came from, and they came from a chicken. So they were asking questions and stuff like that. And it's like, well, the egg comes from the chicken, like eggs. It's like, yeah, they do, bud. And these kids were probably 7 or 8, but yeah, they actually do. They come from the chicken. The chicken lays an egg. It's like, well, is there a chick in them? I said, no, because we don't have a rooster. That was a good enough answer for them. Any further questions about why the rooster is important? I would say that is a good question for your mama. I'm not getting into that. not with somebody else's kids. Um, oh, this cup brings back memories. I don't know if you've ever been to anywhere that has those people. Wild Bill's old fashioned soda pop company. They go to at least around here, they go to a lot of um, the festivals and fairs. And this was from the Equine Fair in Columbus, Ohio, back in 2015. I was there back when the world was normal, back when the world made sense and people didn't wear diapers on their chin. Um, those were the days. 2015, that was my first year back. But, and to think, at that time, I was worried about Hillary Clinton being president. Oh, goodness. Where are we now? Yeah. But, and the sun's out again. This is what happens when you are doing this outside. I can't go to the woods with this because I don't have internet out there. Can't go to the shade. Really, this is probably about as far away as I'm going to go from the Wi-Fi router. Um, but so I got my birds. I say me and my wife got our birds transferred together. I mentioned it on the live stream last night that we were going to do that because we had to. We need them all together because I need to empty out a chicken coop. So I needed to put them all the ones in one chicken coop. And I've expanded their range where they can go. So they've got more room to mess around, and they can go outside and all that. They can have a good life, right? But I needed space in a different chicken coop so that I can, What's the word? What's the word? Because I've got little bitties that are coming in the near future. And so I've got pullets coming. Pullets, I think that's the proper term. I'll just call them bitties, little bitties. But I've got some of them coming in, and we need a new coop for them. I've got work to do because I've got to get that coop ready for little bitties. Now, your bigger chickens, you don't have to worry about keeping snakes out so much. But when they're real little like that, and they're just real young pullets, you've got to worry about snakes around here. So it has to be pretty tight up. You've got to have their enclosure pretty well sealed up. You need that masonry or what they call it, masonry call off. And it's just a really, really tight wire mesh, not like screen porch screening, but just real tight mesh, so that snakes and things like that can't get through. So any hole that you've got has to have something like that on there. So I've got to do that. I've got to patch up a few holes with scrap wood, because I sure ain't going to go to the store right now and buy new wood. Heck, I ain't gonna do that. I can't afford that crap. Yeah, 2x4's $10. No. I will be taking home some pallet boards out from my work, because that I can afford that, because that's free. The one chicken coop, the chicken coop I built, because I've got 2 coops on property right now, and there's one that I turned into a chicken coop, and there's one that I made as a chicken coop. There's one that was already on property, and it was the kids' playhouse. It was the playhouse for the grandkids. I think it was grandkids. And that's what it is. And that's where I've got everything in right now. But I've got another coop that I made, and I made it from some 2x4s, some particle board plywood, and a lot of free pallet boards. And that's mostly what I did. I used repurposed wood when possible. And I've got the little bitties coming in the near future. And I've got to get it back and ready for little bitties. And another thing I've got to do is I have to set up. Well, I'm debating on what I'm going to do here, because I may try and get some guineas as well, and I should have had them order guineas when I got the other ones ordered, because we put in a big order, me and some others in the group. And had I known, and the plan was we were going to order a bunch of meat birds and divide them up between my coop and their coop, or one of their coops and one of my coops. And we were going to raise up a bunch of birds for meat. But they decided that they had enough room and they would keep them all there because that's where we would get them together to butcher them and process them. Which is cool with me. We got a pretty good setup for them for butchering chickens. The guys we go and we catch them and slaughter them and clean them and then bring it into the house. And the women in there, they process them the rest of the way. When we bring them to them, they're already skinned and gutted and cleaned up, got the worst of the feathers and stuff off of them. I mean, you're not going to get all of it off. Not out there, not outside there. But we get the worst of it. And we have our own cones. We made homemade killing cones. They call them kill cones. And we made them out of 5-gallon buckets. And we've got a table that we've set up that has holes for the cones to go in, and then at the bottom there is a bucket. And we take shears and let everything drain, and then pull the bucket back, start cleaning everything up, throw it all in the bucket. Keeps the mess to a minimum. It's nice. It's a nice setup. Yeah, I reckon that was all. That was most of what I wanted to talk about was that. But I'm talking about getting guineas. I'm thinking about them, and I should have had them ordered. Oh goodness. I actually might call and see if they can add some to that order because I'd like some guineas, mainly for pest control. And I just want some kind of bird running around outside. I mean, that's part of it. I want to have critters running around outside. And my laying hens, I'm not going to do that. Guineas are a little bit more hardy. They can actually fly to get away from predators. They're semi-wild, so although my white leghorns, which I guess they're spelled like they're white leghorns, but we always call them white leghorns. But I guess, they are so fleety. It is insane. Like they freak out. Like, boom! Like the least little thing, they just freak out like nobody's business. But anyway, I've been on here almost a half hour. That's about all I wanted to talk about, and nobody's coming in on the chat, so to carry on a conversation with. So I reckon that'll be enough. All right, folks. those of y'all who are watching now, and those of y'all who come and watch this later, I hope y'all had a fantastic Sunday, and hope y'all have a good week. And I plan on being back. I plan on being back for another live stream on Saturday evening, sometime right close to sunset, somewhere when it's just still a little bit daylight. So right around there, that's when I plan on being back. Although we will see. I mean, unless something happens, I'll be there. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Love y'all. God bless. End screen.